Okay. All right, well, thank you all so much for having me out here, letting me talk about the program. So I know Chance, being a pastor, I didn't know y'all had so many singers here. I bet you've hit some up for some specials, huh? All right, so this is my first year teaching at Gilmer ISD. I do the small engine and auto tech class, and I apologize. I had some kids lined up to come with me today, but I guess speaking of the kids, you know, our kids are so great to be involved in everything we do that the ones I had to come with me today are track meets, district track meets, and we've got several FFA competitions. So, you know, we get to work with some wonderful kids who get involved in everything that the school does. But a little bit about my program. I've got a PowerPoint that I've brought to present to y'all. So if you could, let's go ahead and go to that first slide. All right, so again, I just do small engines and auto tech. And the way my classes are set up is I do a small engine 1, so freshman kids, first year kids, then they move on to a small engine 2 class, and then auto tech. So in small engine 1, they learn the basics of an engine and kind of how it works. We break down the principles of a 4-stroke theory. They actually learn what makes that engine go. Then they start breaking down engines, learning the components inside of the engine, learn differences between 2-strokes and 4-stroke engines. And again, they'll rebuild 2-stroke engines and 4-stroke engines. And we've also got them set up with Briggs and Stratton to learn certificates through a program that they have called the PowerPort. You could go to the next slide for me. All right, so these are some of the kids in my class. They have actually earned some of those certifications through Briggs and Stratton. And these are my small engine 1 class. Okay. So in small engine 1, like I said, these are my freshmen or first year kids. I've got 29 total students in this class. So they earned the certification of achievement through Briggs and Stratton. With that, we've earned 52 total certifications this year, 26 on a 4-stroke theory. We have 12 on basic ignition and 14 on basic compression. So those kids have actually worked really hard going through those programs and earning those certifications to kind of help them prepare for the next class in the future. So I think this kind of gives them a leg up, especially around here in this community. You know, we've got a lot of lawnmower shops, a lot of small engine shops. It really gives them an advantage if they try to go get a summer job or something and let them be a part of the community and earn some income as they do it. We'll move to the next one. So small engine 2 is next. So we kind of build a little bit on their knowledge from small engine 1. They go a little further in depth as far as engine systems go. And we start working them on some bigger engines. So get a lot more hands-on work, kind of get out of the book a little more. This year, the school actually had a 292 GM engine, just a straight 6 that goes in an old truck or automobile. And these kids have actually been working on rebuilding this engine. So the next few pictures I have are them kind of going through that process. So here's a picture of the engine when we brought it in. I took the valve cover off, so they did a lot of cleanup on this. We've actually just about got it ready to test run right now. And they have painted this thing, which I don't have a picture of it complete, but it looks completely different at the moment. The next slide, the next one is that class just working on running the valves, doing that process. The next picture will be when they have the head off, so this shows the pistons inside of that engine. And then our next one is the bottom side of that engine, so you can see the crankshaft, camshaft. Like I said, we take them through the process of cleaning up all the parts, how to check tolerances and measurements on these things, and the process of going back together with one. So I believe that last picture I have for them is them just going through cleaning up oil pan on this. So from small engine 2, if they continue in the program, then they go to our auto tech class. So that next one will kind of tell us a little bit about, well, getting ahead of myself. So Small Engine 2, the achievements that they've had this year. So I have 10 kids that went through Small Engine 1, now in Small Engine 2. So they've I've made them go back and earn the same certifications that I had my Small Engine 1 kids earn. And they've earned 20 total certifications from 10 kids. So they've done a really good job too, working on that stuff. So from there, they moved to Auto Tech. Auto Tech, we learned basic components of an automobile, kind of how different systems work together on a vehicle, and learned how to do preventative maintenance and work towards some of the ASC certifications. So if they go anywhere at a tech school or something for, an automotive degree, they're going to learn how to get those ASC certifications. So we try to give them a head start on that. So the next few slides will be we cleaned out which is now the new admin building. They have a 2-post lift there, so we can actually pick some vehicles up, get underneath them and work on them. So we went through training them how to use this 2-point lift safely and getting them to pick up some vehicles. So that's my truck that they have on the lift right now. So when they first picked it up, the first time I told them, I said, all right, kids, I said, this is my truck. So if y'all mess up and something happens, I said, you know what happens if y'all tear my truck up, right? They're like, all right, we don't want to do this. I said, I get a new truck out of it. So, talk my wife into buying me a new one. But they've done really well as far as safety goes, really paying attention on the safety processes and looking out for each other as they go through this. Next picture, we had the school actually purchased us some new tools and stuff to kind of help us with this program. So with the stuff that they got us in this picture, we were able to start doing some of the preventative maintenance on the school fleet. So we've done a few oil changes on the Suburbans and stuff that the school has. All right, so the next few slides, and we can kind of roll through these, are just the kids working on, like I said, the school fleet, doing oil changes and preventative maintenance on those. So one of my students here is draining the oil from the oil pan. Here they're filling up the engine block with oil. And achievements that they've had, they said we cleaned out that space and able to use that shop for doing PMs on school vehicles. And they've started working through some of that ASC curriculum. With this program, moving to that last slide, some of the stuff that I would like to try to achieve moving on in the future with this is a little more shop area where we can get more hands-on learning and go through different processes on a vehicle. More supplies where we can go through different jobs to be done on vehicles and equipment. And I think it would be a good idea to let those kids start doing oil changes and small light repair on staff and teacher vehicles. That way they kind of pour back into the teachers that are pouring into them and get to offer the teachers something also. But also kind of like to have some fundraisers and stuff trying to support the program and, build it as we grow. But so far, that's pretty much what we've done this year with Auto Tech, small engine classes. Y'all have any questions? Any?
So what are some of the tools that you're wanting to get?
Well, some of them I met with a guy from Matco Tools the other day to set up the school with a program on where we can get a school discount through tools. But like brake jobs and stuff, we just need some of the specialty tools to do brake jobs and go through the checks on that. Small engine classes, from talking to some of the other schools, I went and spent little time with a guy at Pine Tree that does the same thing. And they actually bought a bunch of like blow molded cases that have the tools sit in there. And he said for him, he's found that works so much better as far as saving time where kids get to be more hands-on in class and go through a little more instead of running to a toolbox all the time trying to find tools. And you can just look at that blow molded case and know where everything goes if you're missing something. So it helps them stay a lot more organized and it keeps them more accountable as far as putting things up where they should go. But basically just stuff like that.
So how much money do you need?
I think the quote I got on that for those was about $1,800. The brake tools, I've been working on a list on what I think we need on that, and I haven't quite completed that list yet.
Is there in the curriculum geared towards diagnostics and electrical systems and such, and is that something you're looking towards?
You're able to get into some of that stuff. That's pretty advanced, you know, when you get into working on a vehicle. And, you know, we're trying to build on the basics. So I think a lot of that would actually come at the college level. But like I said, at the moment, and talking to a lot of the shops around here, they said if you can spend the majority of your time on preventative maintenance and stuff, because when they come to work here, that's where they're going to spend most of their time. They have advised me that's where they would spend most of their resources.
Fair enough.
Can they start in the ninth grade and take the 12th all the way through the 12th, or how's it, where do they go?
So that's a good question. A lot of them are freshmen that start, but I've got sophomores and juniors that are in my small engine 1 class. So if they decide they want to take it and learn a little bit as an elective, then they can actually start whenever. They just may not finish the full program. But it's, right now it's set up as a 3-year program, so if they wait till they're a sophomore and decide they want in it, they can finish the program still.
How long does it take to get those certifications that you showed us that you have 20 and 50 of?
Those have taken anywhere from a week to 2 weeks per cert, so
they could do it within, like if they decided to change in 6 weeks, they could do.
mm-hmm. And they can do a lot of those at the same time. So they don't have to just stick with one. The way Briggs and Stratton set it up, they can go through and work on several of them at once also. Because a lot of the systems on that kind of tie into each other. So as you start understanding one, you're able to grasp another concept pretty easily.
Where's the AgMech shop at? Where it always been?
AgMech and where we are in the new high school.
Yeah.
So the very back of the high school, kind of over by the field house, that area is where we're located at.
Two rooms down from the welding shop.
Sorry?
2 rooms down from the welding shop.
Okay.
Anybody else? All right. Well, like I said, thank you all so much for having me today. Lunch was great. So I told them if I knew y'all ain't like that, I'd be here every week. Thank you all.